Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I am Valeria for those of you who are new, and I am an intuitive reader and psychic who loves to spread messages of positivity and empowerment through my readings. And as you can see from the title of this video, we're going to have a look at your future children, at their characteristics and your relationship with them. Now, before we get started, there are a few things that I would like to mention here. As you can see, there are 4 piles in this reading, and each pile is meant to represent one child, but I also left the possibility open that multiple children might be coming through in one pile, but just know that the focus is going to be mainly on one child. And since each pile represents one child, you might feel drawn to more than one pile. Just see whichever pile calls out to you, and feel free to watch multiple readings if you feel like it. So in this reading, we're going to be answering multiple questions. So we're going to have a couple of cards to see what the characteristic of this child is, what their talents are, what they excel at, and some challenges they might have. And after that, we will have a look at your future relationship with this child, how the relationship will be like, and perhaps also how you will experience parenthood. So with all that out of the way, let's introduce the piles for today. For pile number 1 over here, we have purple aura quartz. For pile number 2, we have raw selenite. For pile number 3, we have clear quartz. And for pile number 4, we have the angel aura quartz. So you can pause the video if you need to meditate on the cards or on the crystals. Do whatever it is that you usually do and take your time. Once you have selected your pile, or you have selected multiple piles you would like to watch, you can skip to your reading using the timestamps I will provide for you down below. And once you have done so, I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's get started and have a look at all these things about your future children. So here I have a couple of oracle cards, and we're going to save these until the end. But this card is going to represent, first of all, the character of your future child. So we have energy field adjustment, aura cleansing, and health. So I see that this future child of yours will be coming to this earth. They will be incarnating here because they are some kind of healer. We also have number 6 here. So 6 is about balance and about love and about reciprocity. So here also with the health, I'm seeing this child will become some kind of healer. They might be choosing to go into healthcare, like become a doctor or a nurse or a counselor, something like that. But it could also be unrelated to their career. They have this natural cleansing aura to them. They have this energy that naturally cleanses. So once this child comes into your life, you will feel like it takes a lot of troubles and a lot of problems away. It's like this child, it's their energy, it heals you in some kind of way. Their aura heals their aura. And I think that, well, I feel that you becoming a parent and you having this child, in your arms will be very healing for you. Becoming a parent will be very healing to you. Some of you guys might be kind of worried about that. Maybe you're thinking that you're scared of not being able to bond with your child immediately, or that you don't feel that immediate love for your child, or that you're scared that it's going to be too big of a challenge. Well, if that's the case, I can tell you right now that those worries are unnecessary, because I see that immediately as this child is born and comes into your life, this child will cleanse your energy, will cleanse your auric field, and like I said, it will naturally heal you. So these could be related to different things. Maybe you have certain expectations around parenthood and around pregnancy and labor, no matter if you are the one who's being pregnant or not, but you might have some thoughts about that, and this child coming into your life will heal those worries and those thoughts. But it could also be unrelated to parenthood and children, and might be related to something else. So yeah, yes, this child is a healer and very sensitive to energetic changes around them. They will also be very talented at communicating with animals, like not necessarily communicating, but they are very kind to animals. They know how to treat animals well and really care for them and really appreciate animals. So they're not going to, they're going to know what to do with animals. Like, they're going to love animals in that kind of way. So let's now move on to some tarot cards about the character of this future child, their talents and strengths and their challenges. So we're going to have one card for each. So let's start off with more about the character or characteristics of this future child. For pile number 1, number 1, about the character of this child, we have the Magician, and that works so well with the energy field adjustment. Like I said, this child knows how to work with energy. They could be like very good at manifesting already at a very young age, and they know how it works, they know what they're doing. I'm seeing a child who's very creative. They love to work with their hands, whether it's like building something, making something, or like painting. Even painting with fingers is what I'm seeing. Some of them might also really enjoy to play characters, and for example to play as if they're living in the Middle Ages and they're a knight who is supposed to save someone, and this knight doesn't matter the gender, of course. I also forgot to mention that in the beginning of this video, but I'm not really looking at sex or at gender. These are just energies, so I'm not going to tell you you're going to have a boy or a girl or anything else. I am just going to tell you, like, it's about the personality of this child and not their biological sex, basically. So I just wanted to throw that in there just to make sure that this message comes across right. So like I said, this is a child who really loves to play make-believe, and uses a lot of different toys as well that they want to play with. I see that they would love to play with you and with your partner if you decide to have children with a partner or with multiple partners fitted to your situation. But this child loves to play with their parents, basically, and loves to play make-believe, and they might even want to make their own toys, or maybe they pick up some stick from the backyard and they start pretending like it's a sword, or like they're Harry Potter and something like that, and they will really love to play like that and make up stories and play them out with other people. So this does seem like quite an extroverted child to me, because they're really going out there and making things up and really spending time like in the physical. So they're not just daydreaming, they're not just imagining about it, but they're really acting it out. Oh my god, I keep seeing the Lovers card whenever I look at the deck, and now it also jumped out before I before I even ask the question. So I feel like this is really going to be a love child for you guys. Again, with the 6, repeating number 6 I'm seeing here. Maybe 6 means something to you. 6 could be like the month or the day that this child will be born, or it could be their life path number, or it could simply mean that there's a lot of love involved here. Again, I feel like you and whoever you're deciding to have this child with have a very beautiful, loving relationship, and this child is going to be a result of that love that you share with this person, and it's going to be a love child. And that's also why this child loves to spend time with you and with the other parent. And yeah, just a lot of love. I think I mentioned everything about the 6. Yeah, the 6th day or the 6th month of the year. It also might have been a child that's already born, since like 2022, if you add that up, that's number 6. So maybe this is a child that was born in this year, or that's still going to be born in 2022. So let's now have a look at the talents, the strengths, and what this child excels at. What are the talents of this child? All right, that's a bit too much. Let's take the first. We have the 7 of Swords. I'm getting that this child, what they're really talented at is being a mediator, getting people to talk things out and to resolve any issues and any drama. I'm feeling that this child, it's really funny, this child does not like conflict and does not like drama, but because this child wants to help everyone, they attract a lot of conflict and drama to them. So they don't like it, but they do experience it a lot. So in a way, they're kind of like a troublemaker. I'm hearing that trouble follows them wherever they go, but this simply happens because they are that mediator. They want everyone to be happy. They want everyone to understand each other's perspectives, because again, your child is being represented by the magician, and the magician understands all perspectives and understands all of the elements of alchemy, and this child wants to help. I'm hearing disobedience. This child might be a little bit disobedient simply because they want to do what they believe is right for everyone involved. So resolve certain fights, or when someone is upset, they want to console that person and comfort them. Or, you know, if there is, for example, if this child would have a sibling and that sibling that did something bad, and for example they threw their food across the room, which they were not supposed to do, and you take away one of this child's toys, then the child that we're talking about over here, they would see their sibling cry and be sad and angry, and then they would sneak and try to grab that toy for that sibling. So they're disobeying like you in a way, but they're doing it because they don't want to see their sibling cry. So this is the type of child that this will be. Yeah, this type of child this child will be. This will be what they're really good at resolving conflict. They really understand all perspectives in a situation already from a very young age, is what I'm feeling, because I'm seeing that even at the playground they're trying to resolve fights between people, but again, that attracts trouble and drama to them as well. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in a way. So this child is gonna have to learn how to bring out this strength, this talent, and use it for good and not attract too much drama to them. So let's now have a look at the challenge or the challenges that this child could face. And we have a very clear jumper card, which is the Ace of Pentacles. And at the back of the deck we have the Tower. So I'm feeling that this is not it's not necessarily a bad thing, but this child might struggle a bit with money and with giving to other people. And this could also be related here to the Seven of Swords, that they're giving too much. They're giving too much energy and time to other people. They're spending too much time trying to help others, and they kind of forget about themselves. And this could also be related to money, that they are really freely giving money to others who need it, and they kind of forget themselves. I feel like this child does not care about money and about material gain, but in this world we do need a bit of money and material in our lives, of course, otherwise we cannot survive. We do need money, we do need a roof over our heads, and so on and so forth. But this child does not want to like contribute to that kind of world, that really capitalist type of world, type of system. They don't want to contribute to that, and commercialism is also what I'm hearing. They don't want to contribute to that. They prefer to be a minimalist, but again, they need to. The challenge here is to find the balance between taking care of themselves and then taking care of others, and indeed also not contributing to that kind of system that they do not like. So now we're going to have a look at the relationship between you and this child with the oracle cards. So we first of all have hold your vision with fixed moon. Let's see. Yes, this is still perfectly in frame. With this hold your vision, I'm feeling for you guys that you already have a plan on to start a family, or you have this idea in your head and you're like, I want this number of children and I would like to live here in this neighborhood, or I would like to have them at that age, or I would like the nursery to look like this. So I'm seeing you guys have this beautiful vision of what you want your family to look like. Again, for some of you guys, you might already be in the process of that. You might already have this child at this moment, or maybe this is going to be like a second, third, or fourth child, right? And you already have children before this. And this card is telling you to hold the vision. This child is coming, especially to those of you guys who really would love to have a child, but you might struggle, for example, with fertility or financial stability, that you feel like you either cannot, like you're unable to have children, or you don't have the opportunity, or you don't have the opportunity or the possibility to have children. For some of you guys, you might be struggling with something like this, and you really want that child, but you're not sure that you can have a child or that you can adopt a child as well. And this card is telling you, hold the vision. This is going to happen. This child is going to come to you. Do not worry about it. Hold the vision. It's a fixed moon, so it's definitely going to happen. And like I said before, for some of you guys, you might be receiving this child very soon. Is that a nice way of saying it? So you might be like having your child or adopting your child, whatever is the case for you, pretty soon, if that is what you're expecting, of course, if that's what you want. Or you will soon have the news that you are pregnant, or that your partner is pregnant, or that you're going to adopt someone as well. So fit it to your situation. So that's like a confirmation that this child is coming. This child is on their way, and that could mean that it still takes a couple of years, but just know that this child is on the way and is coming to you, and is also asking you to keep having faith and keep believing that this child is going to come to you. Next up, we have Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be love. Do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. And I am like kind of shocked at the synchronicity here. First of all, with the love, we have the Lover's card 2 times a 6, and then offer a helping hand, and we literally here have a hand offering a coin. So these challenges that we spoke about before with this child, you're going to help this child understand and also teach them care and compassion in a way that they love themselves, like that's a priority, that they see themselves as a priority and love themselves first, and only then care about others. So I see that this is something that you will be teaching this child. There will be a lot of love between you, like I said before, love between you and your child and your partner as well. This is a very loving, beautiful relationship that you will have. You will be also a teacher to this child, again, to teach them about love, how you can help others. And again, with that Seven of Swords, indeed, what's the best way to help other people? To help others, but to not give too much of yourself away. To help others, but to not attract unnecessary conflict and trouble to yourself. So this is something that you will be teaching your child, which is really beautiful, because it seems like the character of your child and your relationship will really go hand in hand with each other. This child came here with is going to come in with certain strengths and certain challenges, and you will be the right person to teach them about that, or to teach them and help them. So let's see. Next we have Freya with phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. And the first thing, well, there are a couple of things I'm seeing here. The first thing I saw is that you and your child have incarnated together before. So I'm seeing that in past lives, maybe your child was your parent and you were the child, or you were siblings, or your child was your grandmother and you were the grandchild or the grandparent, just to keep it general. So you incarnated together through multiple phases and cycles. So you and your future child's soul are really get along well and really know each other well as well. Another message that I'm picking up here, which is going to be very specific to only some of you guys, for those of you who may have experienced miscarriage or a abortion in the past, I'm seeing that the child that you lost is this child. This child is going to come back to you. Even if you lost a child in the past for whatever reason and whatever the circumstances were, it doesn't matter. This child is coming back to you. It's not that the soul suddenly is like, well, let's go to another parent, let's go to another person, but this child wants to incarnate as your child pile number one. So that's a comforting message for those of you who experienced something like that. And as a last card, we have fertility. Wow, potential, powerful creative energy, initiation energy, and that is beautiful. That is amazing that we have fertility. So it could be a confirmation for some of you guys who resonate with the story that you've been struggling with your fertility, you've been struggling with making a baby or adopting a baby, and here again is that confirmation. You are going to have that pregnancy if that's what you're looking for, or you're going to adopt that baby that you want. And here again with the powerful creative energy, I was mentioning that before with the Magician, we have initiation energy, kind of the same thing as here with the energy field adjustment. I feel like that the energies between you and this child are just going to match up really well. This child has this creative energy that I feel like it has inherited from you. So you yourself might be a very creative person. Maybe you identify with the magician story I told before as well. Maybe you're like, oh, I used to be like that as a child. So that's just again another confirmation that this is indeed your pile, and you're going to share a very powerful and creative bond with this child. Again, like I said before, I saw you playing together, painting together, creating something together, and I feel like you're just a really good match in teaching this child about the world, and at the same time to conserve the creative energies and the imagination in this child, because you, for some reason, have experience with that. You know how to help this child in specific. And again, if you already have children, or you're planning on having more than one child, then I'm also seeing that as a confirmation here that you will have multiple children if that's what you want to. And as a last part of this reading, I will pull some more cards with some words on it so you have more information on this relationship with your child or their character as well. So these include all kinds of words, so let's just see what comes out and how it will fit into this story. So here we first of all have abusive. So this child might have come from a past life that was quite challenging for them. I'm not sensing that this child is going to be abusive or this relationship with your child is going to be abusive, but it's like, or for some of you guys, this might be a foster child actually. Is that what it's called? Like from foster care. This is a child that comes maybe from an abusive relationship with one or both of their parents or an abusive situation. So that might be for some of you guys. Or this child might come from a past life which was kind of abusive, and right now they really need a loving partner, a loving parent to take care of them. We have spirit guide. So there's the spirit guide watching over both of you and making sure that you will meet this child, basically, that you will get to meet. We have selfless. This child will be selfless, like I didn't use that word before, but I kind of described that before as well, right? They really give to others and kind of forget about themselves. We have Capricorn, so this child might be a Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising, but probably mainly sun. Or maybe you will find out that you are pregnant or you're adopting a child during Capricorn season. We have insecure. This child is a bit insecure when it comes to, again, that material stuff that I was talking about before, about money and such. They might find it intimidating. They don't know how to use money because I feel like they're not experienced with it. In their past lives, they didn't really learn how to deal with money. So maybe they came from a family that did not have that much money. Could be in this life if you're adopting this child, or it could be in a past life. And probably for you guys right now, you're quite wealthy. You have a beautiful big house and a big garden, and that's a big switch for this child. So this child doesn't really know what to do with all that money and all that space and such. So it feels a little bit insecure in this situation. We have, well, oh my god, I just said that, wealthy. See, so you guys most likely are wealthy, have some type of wealth, whether that's in money, in business, or a big house, or you just have a lot of money to spend. And we have creative, so I mentioned creativity a couple of times before already, and we have here creative energy as well. So yeah, this child is going to be creative, and you're going to spend a lot of time doing creative things and activities with this child as well. So with that last message, I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for watching pile number 1. Thank you for letting me do this reading for you. I really hope you enjoyed it, because I did enjoy doing this reading for you. In case it resonated, you can leave a like, you can comment, and you can subscribe if you want to. And maybe we will see each other in the next reading. Bye guys! Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's get started and just have a look at all this information about your future child. And before I'm going to show you the cards, there's something I forgot to mention in the introduction, which is that in these readings I'm not going to look at biological sex or gender. I'm just going to look at like the personality of this child and their energy. So I'm not going to tell you congratulations, you're having a boy or a girl. So let's get started now. So first of all, we're going to have a look at this card over here, which is going to talk to us about the characteristics of your child and the character. So we have the present, gift, treasure, revelation of own value and nowness with number 12. So 12 could be the number of the date of that this child is born, or that maybe you adopt this child. Could be the 12th day or the 12th month, which is December. And with this card, I'm feeling that this child brings a sense of nowness into your life. This child makes you appreciate the present, and as in the present time, but it will also feel like this child is a present, as in a gift, as in the presence of this child will be a gift, and the insights and the changes that this child will bring into your life will be like a gift. So I'm seeing that on your part, the welcoming of this child into your life will bring a lot of revelations and changes and realizations, and maybe even like, I mean, obviously you're going to have a change in lifestyle, but I feel like this child is really going to turn you all around. So let's take this very simple example. Before you had this child, you might have been living a lifestyle while you did eat kind of healthy, you did watch what you were eating, you weren't really working out, but after this child is born, you feel very motivated to start working out and to eat healthy foods and to maybe watch your diet, or just are more aware of what you consume. So this child is going to bring a positive change in your lifestyle. So it could indeed be related to diet and to workout, but it doesn't really have to be. Maybe you're moving to a different place in the world where the air is just better, or a place that just makes you feel happier than where you are living now. So this child in and of itself is a gift to you, but it will also bring to you a lot of treasure and a lot of realizations of how precious life is and how precious the present is. So I'm seeing that this child is really anchoring you into the present moment, which is really beautiful, and it's going to show you, or this child is going to show you over the course of time also more of these little treasures. So as they grow older, they will bring you more revelations, will bring more changes to your life, which is really beautiful. I'm seeing this as if it's more of a longer journey on which your child will be showing you things, like new things about life and new maybe wisdom and things like that, or you realize which things are important for you and which are not, so things like that. So let's now have a look with the tarot at we're going to look at 3 different things with 1 card for each. So we're first going to have a deeper look at the characteristics and the character of this child. Then we're going to look at their strengths, their talents, which the things they excel at, and then we're going to have a look at the challenges that this child will face, and after that we'll move on to the relationship. But let's first focus on the character of this child for pile number 2. Wow, look at that. We have the Knight of Cups. I am immediately drawn to his beautiful blue color. This child could have blue eyes and have a fair complexion, but it doesn't have to be. This child could be a water sign, which are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Wow, I had to think really long on that one. I don't know why, but this child could be a water sign, Sun, Moon, Rising. They do really have that watery and element to them, and I'm feeling especially more of a Cancer and Pisces, but especially Cancer vibe here. And this child, I'm hearing that they know what they're doing. They could in the future become some kind of Casanova, and they're really all about romance and love and things like that, but that's only later on in life. And this child, when they are still young. I'm seeing that they're trying to become friends with everyone, and not in a way of being a people pleaser, but more like a very social butterfly, that they want to talk with everybody and they just start talking to anybody. Like, they're not scared of people, they're not scared of talking to strangers even, which could also be kind of an issue as well, because we do live in a dangerous world for children as well. So, but this child is not afraid to talk to strangers and to start conversations. They might pursue a career in that's related to networking and communicating and being social. For example, a salesperson. This child could really excel at that. And again, they're really good at making friends. They're really good at, I'm hearing that they're quite diplomatic, so they will always give you like the friendly and the politically correct answer. They will tell you what will make you happy, and the things that you want to hear. So they're a sweet talker, and like I said, there's a kind of Casanova vibe, that they know how to romance people, they know how to sweet talk. So that's kind of the character of this child. So let's now have a look at the talents and the strengths. Let's see, we have a couple of cards that flipped here. Oh, it's just one, which is perfect. So we have the Chariot with number 7. 7 could also be a significant number to you. Like I said, with number 12, number 7 could be the 7th day of the month, or the 7th month of the year that this child might be born, or maybe you will find out on the 7th month or the 7th day that you're pregnant, or that you're going to have a baby, or that you're going to adopt a child. And this is really amazing that we have the Chariot for their strengths, because this is showing that this child has an immense willpower. They have this immense source of willpower, and they can achieve anything they put their mind to. And I feel like that is something that you're going to teach them, that they can achieve everything that they want. If there is a will, there is a way. And I feel like you will really teach them this, so they will be quite ambitious as well. They will want to follow their dreams no matter how ambitious they are. They will be persistent in achieving what they want to achieve. I was hearing academic achievements, so this child could have the ambition of going to university and having a really good education. Yeah, I'm feeling that this child is very ambitious, but for the right reasons is what I'm feeling though. They really love to set goals for themselves and to follow them and to achieve them. That's really what they love to do. With the 2 cats here, they could be a cat lover, especially if you yourself own cats or plan to own cats or really love cats. This child loves cats, and other pets in general, most likely as well. I'm also seeing birds. They might really like birds. Their spirit animal could actually be a bird, is what I'm feeling more. That's more the thing that I'm feeling here, that they have a spirit animal that's a bird, or they have birds watching over them. They have a special connection to birds. So that's really nice. A very ambitious child who wants to achieve a lot of big things, and will be very persistent in that as well, because you taught them that if you really want something and if you work hard for it and if you stay persistent, then you will get it. So that's also the strength that they will have in this life. So let's now have a look at the challenges this child might face. Let's see, we have the 4 of Pentacles, and at the back of the deck I felt called to look at that, and we have the 3 of Swords. So here with the Four of Pentacles, I'm feeling kind of a lonely vibe, as if this child feels lonely, feels a bit isolated. It feels like they feel like they're the odd one out. Maybe they feel they're the odd one out in your family, or maybe in their life, like amongst their friends, amongst their peers. So maybe some of you guys, you will live somewhere where you aren't originally from, or they might feel like they don't fit in the environment where they are at, so they don't, maybe they don't look like the people that they spend time with, like they don't look like their friends. If that's not the case, what I'm getting here as well is that since this child wants to achieve a lot of big things, they might become lonely because of that as well, because I'm hearing it's lonely at the top. They will work towards the top, and they will become quite lonely because of that. Maybe this child will be very much focused on career, and they forget about love and forget about settling down with someone and starting a family themselves, which is very interesting because we first of all had the Knight of Cups here, and this really talked to me about this child being very much a social butterfly. So it's interesting to see them here in this Four of Pentacles, where they're kind of retreated, they feel lonely and isolated. So it could be that they feel lonely amongst the people they spend time with, for whatever reason that is, or it's because of their academic achievements and them being really busy that they don't have time to spend time with their friends, or maybe to start dating and such. So this is something that this child will experience as a challenge, that they tend to get really sucked up into their work and forget about everything else, or forget about relationships and things like that. So again, that's a challenge that they might face probably later on in life. So let's now move on and have a look at how the relationship between you and your child will be like. First of all, we have your commitment is being tested with the first quarter moon. So what this card is telling me, with the first quarter moon, that in the first part of this child's life, your commitment, or this child might test you. So in the first early years of their life, probably let's say until like they're in their teens, or maybe a bit older or younger than that, they will really try to test you. And not because they want to make your life difficult, but simply because that's the character of this child. So this child will test you in multiple different ways, which will in the end lead to you coming to some kind of conclusion and realization, which I was talking about before. This child is like exposing new ideas to you and really keeping you on your toes and inspiring you in a way to become the best parent for them. So I'm hearing that this child could be a work of art. They could be quite the challenge, but you're up to the challenge is what I am feeling. You are the one who is going to kind of rein this child in, to kind of put it like that. You're going to be able to focus this child on what they need to focus on. I'm hearing that for some of you guys, this child might have ADHD, or maybe you have, because it feels like this child needs to be, their enthusiasm needs to be contained a bit more, which might also be why they are so eager to achieve a lot of new things, a lot of different things, but in the end they might find themselves ending up alone. So this child will test your commitment to them and your commitment to being a parent. But again, I do feel like you are up for the challenge. Then we have bridge it with inner strength, move back to wholeness, recognize that you have the power. Again, kind of that same message. You have the strength to teach this child what it's supposed to learn from you. And you're going to recognize that you have the power. These are one of the lessons that this child is going to teach you. You're going to realize that you have the power in your hands, and in case your child is not listening to you or being a little naughty, you have the strength that it takes to like put your child in place, of course in a loving parent type of way, in a disciplined type of way, and not in like an mean, angry, abusive kind of way. I'm just want to make myself clear here. I see that you will have like a strong element to you, that you will know when to step in and to like discipline your child, or to point them or give them a push in like the right direction. I feel like this is something that you will explore with yourself, and you will find within yourself that you do have the strength, and you do have the power and the confidence to indeed push this child in the right direction. And even when they are being difficult, that you are able to steer them in the right direction and make sure that they do become that healthy adult that can function very well in today's society, but at the same time still remain authentic to themselves as well. So for our last card, we have the Selkie and her skin, reclaiming your authenticity, number 25, which adds up to 7, which we already had before over here. So this is also kind of a confirmation, well, kind of a confirmation indeed, because it talks about authenticity. So this child will want to explore their authenticity, and you will help them doing it. You will simply be a helping hand and a guide for them to explore and to find their authenticity. And it will be the same way, like the other way around will be as well. So your child will help you reclaim that inner strength, because I feel like you have this fire in you and it might be dormant, or you might feel like you don't need it. And this child is going to light that fire in you. Again, with that, your commitment is being tested, and you're going to reclaim your authenticity. Maybe right now you feel like, well, I am authentic, I am powerful, I'm confident. That's totally fine, right? That's totally cool. But maybe what I'm seeing that could be possible is that over the course of the years and you becoming a parent, you might kind of lose yourself a bit, or struggle to define yourself as a person. And in this way, this child is going to help you reclaim that and find that fire, light that fire in you as well. So this child is going to teach you a lot as well. You might be their parent, but they're also kind of your teacher, which is, it's really great to see this mutual like teacher exchange between the two of you guys. So it's really great. And I feel like after you reclaim your authenticity and this child coming more into themselves, you're going to have a very strong relationship with each other, because you are both your authentic selves, and you will either really, your personalities will like really be really similar, or they will be the complete opposite. So at first they might clash because of that, but again, after you both reclaim your authenticity, you guys will actually match perfectly. And no matter like which no matter what like the gender of this child will be, or no matter whether you are a man or a woman, I see that you will have a very strong relationship with this child, and this child feels like they can tell you everything. They can ask you to go wherever, whether that's something like shopping or doing some kind of physical activity or just talking about life, maybe about love life and things like that, asking you for advice. And the same thing goes for you as well. You feel like you can talk with just about anything with this child, because both of you reclaimed your authentic self and you both live in the present, and you were both committed to this whole journey that you were on together. And again, that's going to create a very beautiful, loving, trusting relationship between the two of you guys. So as the last part of this reading, I'm going to pull a couple of more cards, which can tell us a bit more about this child and your relationship with this child. So let's pull a couple of them. Let's just see what kind of messages we have here. We have forgiveness. So that could be related to your child testing you in some kind of way. We have psychic. With the psychic, I feel like you can communicate with this future child. Like, you can communicate with the higher self of this child. Maybe you've heard about spirit babies before, which is like basically the soul is that's the soul of the baby that you're welcoming into your life. So I'm getting that for you guys, you have this telepathic connection with this child already, no matter when they will be born, whether that is like in a month from now or 10 years or anywhere in between. You have a telepathic connection with this child, so you can talk with them if you want to, or just try to get used to their energy, right? Just do whatever feels right for you. We have Pisces. I mentioned Pisces before. Oh my god. So this child could be Pisces indeed. And I felt Cancer before as well, but here we have confirmation for Pisces. We have honest. This child is deadly honest, is what I'm hearing. That might be actually what kind of triggers you and what tests you, because this child is so honest that it's kind of annoying at times. That how do I explain it? It's not that they won't ever lie, but they're very straightforward. They're very direct. If there's something they don't like, they will tell it to you. Like, for example, if you put on a very nice outfit, or if you cooked a very nice meal and this child doesn't like it, they will tell you straight up, that outfit does not look nice on you. It makes you look older or whatever. Or they will say about the meal, this tasted like shit, I really don't like it. So they will be very direct in this kind of way, and maybe you recognize yourself in this as well. And last we have Aries. So this child could also be Aries, but it could be you as well, since we here have that fire energy. So I'm getting that this child will also inherit this fire from you. So like I said before, you might have similar personalities, which might be the reason that you will clash, and this could very much be the reason that you both have that fire within you, and that's why you sometimes clash. Or this child could be an Aries, you could be an Aries, but it doesn't have to be, because it mainly just points towards that inner fire and that inner strength, and really being like, I want it my way and I'm going to do it my way. So with that last message, I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for watching pile number 2. Thank you for letting me do this reading for you. I really enjoyed doing this reading, so I hope you enjoyed it as well. I also hope it resonated for you, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, to comment, and to subscribe if you want to, and maybe we will see each other in the next reading. Bye guys! Hello there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Before we get started, there was something I forgot to mention in the beginning of this video, which is that I am not going to look at biological sex or gender of this child, this is just going to focus on their personality and on their energy. So I just wanted to let you know that as well before we started. So let's now have a look. First of all, with this mermaid card here, we're going to have a look at the characteristic of your child. And in the past two piles, this card was mostly about the impact that this child will have on you and on your life. So let's see what the message for you is. We have adrift, letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time, with number 27. So 27 could be the date, the day of the month that this child will be born for some of you guys, or maybe you were born on the 27th. Here with the adrift card, this is interesting because I don't see this card a lot. It doesn't come up a lot in readings. Letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. So I feel that this child coming into your life will bring forth a change, more of an elevation in your energy and in your vibration. I'm hearing that for some of you guys, while you are pregnant, if that is your story, if that's possible for you, or after you have your child, you will sense an increase in your psychic abilities, which is really interesting. This child will heighten your psychic abilities like you've never experienced them before. It's like this child will unlock something in you, whether it is while it's growing in your belly, or after it is born, or after you adopted it, or whatever the situation is going to be for you. This child is going to help you let you go of certain things. It's like a weight is lifted off of your shoulder, but it's more like you don't care anymore. It's like now you're like floating in the water and you're letting the current take you wherever. For some of you guys, this child might be unexpected or unplanned, and that's kind of when you find out you're having a child and then you're like, oh, well, that was unexpected, but let's just go with it. Let's just go with the flow, because you know, I do feel like this will be something that you're happy with. So you will be happy with this child coming into your life. You know, finding out that you or your partner might be pregnant, it will be unexpected, but at the same time, it will make you very happy, because it feels like you're floating in the ocean, in this water, and you're like, all right, I let God take me on this journey, or the universe. I let it take me on this journey of parenthood and see what it gives me. And again, for those of you who will be pregnant, I feel like your pregnancy will be very special to you, and you will feel very natural. You're going with the changes in your body, you're going with the changes in your hormones, and with the energies, and just the changes in your life in general. You will just go with the flow. You will not resist them. You will not feel worried. You will not feel scared. If there are any complications, you will not worry about them, and you will be like, it's all right. It's going to be all right. The baby is healthy. I am healthy. Everything is going to be all right. So you're really letting this whole change in your life, just you're letting it guide you to where it's supposed to go. You're really letting go of control here. Yeah, and for others of you guys who might be planning on adopting, it will be kind of similar. You will unexpectedly hear some kind of news that you're adopting a child. Maybe for some of you guys, you're even taking care of a child like in your family, maybe like the child of your one of your siblings or someone else in the family, because they, for some reason, they need to stay with you. Could also be the case for you. And this feels like a very beautiful, like an energy of allowing. You just allow this child to come into your life. You allow it to change you. It feels like you're ready for it. Even if this child was unplanned, it will come at the perfect time for you. I am getting this scene that there is this, let's say, a couple who is talking about wanting to have a child, or you're like, I really want to have a child right now, and then shortly after that you suddenly realize you were pregnant, or that your partner is pregnant, or that you're adopting someone, and you know, it's like, I just decided that I wanted a child, and now the opportunity is already presenting itself. So it could be something like this as well, that it happens really fast, and it happens kind of unexpectedly, but it's a beautiful experience for you because it feels like you're floating. And during this, if you are indeed pregnant, if that's your story, during the pregnancy you will feel like you're on this constant high, you're on a pink cloud, and you're enjoying every single day of this pregnancy. All right, let's now move on, and we're going to have a look at the character of this child, their talents and their challenges. So for each part we will have one card. So let's start with the character of this child. Oh, look at that. And we have actually a child on the card, like a baby on the card, and no other card in this deck has that, so that's beautiful. We have the death card with number 13, could again be a significant number for you. The 13th day of the month, for example. Maybe you find out you're having maybe like you find out you're pregnant, or you're having a child, or you're adopting a child on that day, could be as well. So the character of this child is going to be also very easygoing and go with the flow. So that's likely why you will feel like that during, if that's the case, during your pregnancy, because it's the energy of this child that you're feeling. This child is very wise in a way, very calm. And in some way, it's not really a childish child at all. They're quite wise for their age. They might be an old soul, and you will notice this while they are a baby as well. They likely will not cry a lot, and I'm also getting this child is very curious. At a young age, they will be really curious and want to like touch different things and put all kinds of different things in their mouth and really explore and really go outside and go on adventures. And here with the mother that's holding this child, I feel like you will also really encourage this child to do that. You will give this child opportunities and ways to explore this curiosity and to satisfy the curiosity that they have about the world. They might, from a very young age on, already start asking why and how. Like, why do birds have wings? Why does the sun rise in the morning and set in the evening, right? They will be asking so many questions about the world and about the universe, and I feel like they're very intelligent. This child is going to be very intelligent because they're so curious and because they have this natural desire to learn and to explore. And again, I feel like you are going to be the best parent to guide them, the best person to guide them in that, and to satisfy that curiosity and to show them the world as well. So let's now have a look at the talents, the strengths of this child, and the things they excel at. We have the Knight of Swords. So this child is indeed going to be very intelligent, especially street smart is what I'm getting. They could also be like very good at school, but for the most part, I feel like this child knows a lot about the world. They might be interested in psychology and just studying humans, studying human behavior or the human mind, and they're really interested in that. I see that they will be reading a lot of books and educational books, so not necessarily the storytelling books like Harry Potter, those kind of stuff, but really books with information. They really will love to read those kind of things, and I feel like they will have a lot of intellectual conversations with themselves. They will go in discussion with themselves a lot, and this is the way that they process the world. This is the way that they understand the world. It's like I'm seeing them, they're going out, they want to satisfy their curiosity, so they are going to explore something, find out about something, and once they have that experience, once they have experienced what they wanted to, they will retreat to themselves and they will analyze it and they will think about it, and it will be like, what does this mean to me? What could this mean for others? Is this true? Is this, they're asking all of these questions and kind of analyzing and thinking over what they learned. So they have a very analytical mind, a very, very powerful mind. Later in their life, they might pursue a career that really pushes their mind and really uses like their where they get to use their intellect a lot. So something that they really have to use their mind for, or there could be doing something related to communication as well. And the things that they really use their mind for are like a lot of different things, but when it comes to like communication, they could be talking with people, like I mentioned, because this came up in another pile before as well. I mentioned something like a salesperson, or maybe a therapist, a psychologist, since I mentioned that they are also interested in psychology as well. So could be some of these things. They are also in a way some kind of a modern explorer, so they could have the desire to travel the world a lot and to visit a lot of places, and then again think about that and kind of decide for themselves what that means for them. It's like they're going on a journey, they're going somewhere, they're traveling somewhere, but at the same time it's an inner journey for them as well. So let's now see what kind of challenges this child might face in their lives. What kind of challenge could they face? We have the 5 of Swords, and at the back of the deck we have the Lovers. Let's see, 7 of Pentacles and 6 of Swords as well. So a lot of Swords energy here. By the way, I also with the Death card, they could have Scorpio in their birth chart, or any of the air signs, since we have a lot of Swords as well. So those are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Here the challenges with the 5 of Swords, I feel like this child could find it challenging in certain relationships in their life. In certain relationships, they could struggle to express themselves. And first of all, I feel like this is not you. They're going to have you two are going to have a relationship in which you understand each other very well. But I feel like there are going to be other people in this child's life that are not going to understand them because of their mind, because of their beautiful, intricate, and complex mind. Not everyone will understand this child, and these could be family members as well for some of you guys. I don't want to make you worried or scared or anything like that, but I'm going to be honest that there might be as well a masculine person in this child's life that they will have a difficult or challenging relationship with. So it could be the father of this child, but if you are the father of the child, then of course that doesn't count. But it could also be a grandfather or maybe a brother. So I'm just throwing it out there because that's what I'm picking up, and I want to be honest with you guys, but at the same time I don't want you to worry too much. But just know that this child will is likely to experience some difficulty in some relationships simply because of the way that their mind works. And you also see how these two characters, they're the same, with like the wings on top of the head and the wings here on the back. So this also reminds me of the god Hermes, like the messenger of the gods. He also has these wings and wings on his feet, and that's also the god of communication. And I believe in Hermes is the Greek equivalent, and in the Roman pantheon you have Mercury. So Mercury could also be a significant planet to you, and as well Mercury is the like I said, the god and the planet of communication as well. So again, that's again a synchronicity and a confirmation that they have something. It's something to do with their mind and the way that they communicate. And again, because their mind is so intricate, they could also be very spiritual. It could be that's the reason why they might have difficulty with certain relationships in their life. And again, it's not, I don't feel like it's you, but it's someone else. And yeah, that's the challenge that they will face in this life. So let's now move on to the oracle cards, which are going to tell us about your relationship with this child. So we first of all have a personal issue, reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. And I love like the imagery of the death card with this full moon in Cancer card. I'm sensing that the birth or the arrival of this child is going to resolve some kind of issue for you. It's going to be some type of healing for you. You becoming a parent is going to be healing for you. Maybe for some of you guys, you're scared about parenthood. You have these worries that you're not going to be a good parent, or you know that you're going to fail or something like that, or you're not going to like it. Well, this card is telling you this is going to be a very healing experience for you, because the connection and the relationship between you and this child is going to be very strong. It's like the connection between a mother and a child. That's how it's going to be, even if you are not the mother of this child. That's how this connection is going to be. You're going to be really close, and once this child arrives in your life, all of your worries are going to disappear, whether that's related to parenthood, taking care of that baby, or any other personal issue, maybe related to a relationship or related to your career, related to your friendships. Like everything is just going to dissolve, everything is going to disappear, and this child is going to heal you and it's going to make you feel better. And this is honestly such a pleasant and beautiful energy. I don't really know how to put it in words, but you know, the thing that kind of that I think of, but the thing that this feeling kind of reminds me of is looking at the stars without any or without a lot of light pollution. So you're really able to see the stars, and it's very calm. The environment is very calm, you're very comfortable, and you're watching the stars and you're just enjoying that, and there's this sense of calm and peace and serenity falling over you. And that is how the arrival of this child in your life is going to be like, very calm and very serene. Next we have Mother Mary with love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. So those are again some confirmations, some synchronicities that the connection between you and this child is going to involve a lot of love, a lot of peace, a lot of understanding. This child is going to teach you to let go of the need to be right, to let go for the need of being the perfect parent and to seem like you've always got it together and you're not struggling with anything, whether that's related to your social life, your professional life, or your family life. This child is going to show you what really matters and also probably give you some insights into relationships that you have with other people as well. And I do truly feel like you're going to be super, super close with this child. That child is going to be your best friend as well. Mother healing is possible at this time. So for some of you guys, like I mentioned before, if you have any fears surrounding parenthood, these are going to be resolved because of the connection that you have with this child. And if you're having any struggles, any issues in your relationship with your mother, I also feel that this child is going to help to resolve those things, and it's going to bring you and your mother together, because I am seeing a grandmother here as well. So this child of yours is going to bring the relationship, it's going to make you and your mother closer. So for our last card, we have Time and Tide, Oceanic Spells and Rituals, number 18. Again, 18 could be a significant number for you. And this is kind of the same thing I felt as with this card, that this child might come at a time that you did not expect it. Again, that story is coming back that you were just thinking about, oh, I would love to start a family now, and then soon after that you find out that you're going to start a family. And this card could also talk about, in case you're single and you have that thought, oh, I would really love to start a family right now, that very soon you're going to meet the person that you want to have that child with, you want to adopt that child with. So there is someone coming in at the perfect moment, but you didn't expect it. So this could be your child, and it could be a partner as well, or it could be a very loving friend, in case you also don't resonate with being single at the moment. This could be a very loving friend that you meet, or again, it could signify your mother, because you find out you're pregnant or that your partner's pregnant, and then you get closer to your mother as well. Maybe you're asking her for advice and such things. And yeah, again, you and your child are going to be teaching each other a lot of things. And again, it's a very beautiful, peaceful connection between the two of you guys. So as the last part of this reading, I'm going to get some more cards, some more information on your future child and your relationship perhaps. So let's see. For pile 3, what do we have? And this one. So first of all, we have Leo. So this child could be a Leo, first of all. We have kind. The relationship between you and your child is going to be you're going to be kind to each other, a lot of kindness. This child will learn kindness from you. We have athletic. So this child will have a lot of interests in like active activities, like in physical activities and being active. So they might grow up to become athletic. Maybe they like to do sports while they're still young, and maybe they will even become a pro, who knows. We have Aries, so we have 2 fire signs here. That's interesting because before I was not seeing that at all. We have psychic, so I did mention that this child could be very spiritual, very psychic. Their mind is really powerful, I'm telling you. We have wealthy. This child is going to become wealthy because of their mind. Could be through a career, could be through like a business. Something they're doing with their mind is going to make them wealthy. and they're probably going to share that wealth with you as well. And what I'm also seeing is that you guys are helping this child to become wealthy. You might be supporting them in their education, or like I said before, you're trying to satisfy their curiosity, right? You're answering their questions about why and how, and in this way you're training their mind and helping their mind to evolve, which in the end is going to lead to them becoming wealthy. And we have insecure. So there are certain things that this child will be insecure about. It could also be about the Five of Swords, that this child does not feel very comfortable and very safe in certain relationships. As in, more they're kind of insecure. They're not really used to those kind of relationships. You might, for some of you guys, you might be a single parent, and because this child only grew up with one parent, and maybe they're also an only child, for example, they might lack a bit or feel a bit insecure in like their social skills. Could be a thing for some of you guys. So that's just a heads up for you, that in addition to satisfying their curiosity, you might also like to stimulate them being social, because I see that this child does not really have a natural feeling or like a natural interest in being social, which is like the opposite of pile number 2. So you might want to stimulate them a little bit more in that area. So with that all being said, I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for watching pile number 3. I really hope you enjoyed it and it resonated for you. I really enjoyed giving you this reading. Feel free to leave a like, to comment, and to subscribe if you want to, and maybe we will see each other in the next reading. Bye guys! Hello, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. Before we get started, there's something I need to tell you that I forgot to tell you in the beginning of the video. So in this reading, I am not going to look at the biological sex or gender of this child or children. I'm just going to look at personality and energy. So I just want to let you know that, so you know what you're expecting. Pun not intended. But it's actually quite funny. No, pun was not intended. But anyways, let's get started with your reading. First of all, we'll have a look at this card, which is going to tell us something about you and your child. And for the previous 3 piles, this card talked about kind of the impact that this child will have. So let's see what the message for you here is. We have water flight, heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, weightlessness. And that is again so interesting, because there were it was pile 3 and I believe another pile as well that had these cards with a lot of water in them, and it talked about lifting a burden and just letting yourself go with the flow. And I am going to be honest, like right off the bat here, I also sense that while I was pre-shuffling your cards, and we have a lot of cards here, we have basically the double amount of cards than the other piles. So this pile for you guys could actually be about multiple children, like 2 children, and maybe even about twins, but I'm not too sure. Like, I can't give you the exact answer yet, but I just want to let you know. We also have number 14 here, so your child could be born on the 14th day of the month, or maybe you were. So here with water flight, heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, weightlessness. This is kind of the effect this child is going to have on your life. But what I'm feeling mostly here is that you are going to have this child, or you're going to realize that you're going to have this child, or you're going to make the baby while you're near the water, or maybe in the water, somewhere near the ocean, on the beach, somewhere like that, or you're on vacation where you, for example, swim with dolphins, or maybe you're on a cruise on a boat somewhere, and you know, one of these things, you find out you're having a baby, or you're actually making the baby at that moment. So that is something that I'm seeing you here. There's a lot of water involved with the whales here as well. I feel like the whales and their frequency is really supporting you as a parent. You have a special connection to whales and to dolphins as well. You know, in case you didn't know, that's what I am seeing here. You have a special connection to them. Maybe you already went swimming with dolphins, or maybe that's something that you would like to try out. This child that you're having is also such a lover of water. You might be as well, by the way. This child will love water really much. And if you're not living by water right now, this child will definitely kind of push you towards moving to a home that's near the water, whether that's near the beach, in the ocean, or a lake. They will really want to be close to water because they also feel really close to whales and to dolphins and to oceanic life in general and water. They really love water. They love swimming. Some of them might really like mermaids or want to be a mermaid. They might believe in mermaids. I mean, it kind of depends on your perspective whether you believe that mermaids are true or not. I mean, we do have this Oracle of the Mermaids, which is already kind of proof that mermaids do exist in some shape or form, but just saying that this child will have some connection to mermaids as well. Maybe in one of their past lives they were some kind of oceanic creature, and this is why they also feel very connected to that in this life. And again, you could feel connected to those things as well. And you having this child or these children will, for some reason that's unknown to me, will be supported by these whales and by these dolphins. It will be supported. And in case you are pregnant, right, at the time that you are pregnant, if that's possible for you, and if you're going through some pain or some unpleasant sensations, I'm feeling that water could really help you just release any unpleasant sensations you have and really relax as well. So maybe that is why it's going to be really good for you to live near water while you're pregnant. And yeah, this is mostly for those of you guys who plan on getting pregnant themselves, of course. So yeah, let's move on now, and we're going to have a look with the tarot at like the character of this child, their strengths and their challenges. And for each of these three things, we're going to have one card. So let's start and have a look at the character of this child. For pile number 4, what's the character of this child or of these children going to be like? We have the Tower, and I do feel called to pull another one. We have the Tower and the Page of Swords. Yeah, I am getting more clear the feeling that these are going to be twins, and if they're not twins, they could be siblings that are very close to each other. Maybe like close in age, or just, you know, close. They really get along really well. I am sensing here the older sibling and the younger sibling, and they're both quite adventurous, except for here the older sibling might get into a little bit more trouble. Like they're not really sure where their boundaries lie and where they should stop, but that is because they have very big dreams. They're very ambitious. They really want to see the whole world, basically. They really want to explore. And here with this Page of Swords, it's really funny. I never saw this before, but you probably know this meme, and I don't know if it actually has a name or not, but there is this character, and he has his hand in front of him, and then there is this butterfly, and then, you know, that's the meme, and then, you know, there's this text underneath it. So that's what I'm seeing here. It's like, oh, look at this butterfly, and that is how this younger child is going to be like. They are going to be like, oh, look at this butterfly, oh, look at this grass, look at this tree, look at this fly. And that's really the curiosity that they embody. But again, it's a bit calmer than here with the Tower. Like, this older sibling is going to be a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more of a troublemaker, a little bit more I'm seeing them like falling off of their bike, you know, destroying like their pants because they fall down or getting dirty, and maybe they fell off of something, and then they come home and they're like covered in leaves and in dirt and whatever, and you're like, oh my god, what happened? And I feel like this other child has the same mentality, but again reins that in a bit more. They're more within an explorer of the mind, or I'm hearing like they're more the explorer of the backyard, whereas this other child is like the explorer of the whole town, basically. So they have different limits, basically. They go to different lengths to satisfy that curiosity, which is it's really interesting. They do match really well, by the way. I want to say that their energies do match really well. I feel like they will go along very well. Even though they're a bit different, they're also quite the same. So they do understand each other because they have that same type of curiosity, but they express it in different ways, basically. So let's see for their talents, their strengths, and what they excel at for these future children. Right, we have the Lovers, and we have the Nine of Swords, and the card that fell as well was the Strength card with number 8, so let's keep that in mind as well. So these are their strengths. Let's see if I can move this a little bit more so I have more room for more cards. Yes. All right, so this energy makes me laugh. I'm hearing that these two these siblings, they will be partners in crime. It's really nice. It's really nice to hear they're partners in crime. I feel like they will be up to some naughty things during the night when they're supposed to be in bed, right? When they're still young, they will cause some mischief while the lights are off and they're supposed to be in bed, especially here with the younger sibling. I feel like it's like they are this little devil who's telling the older sibling, hey, let's go outside and go into the backyard, or let's go downstairs and open the fridge and see if we can get anything nice to eat. So it's kind of like this younger sibling is the instigator, and then the older sibling is the one who actually like takes the action and actually does it. And I feel like if the older sibling is not up for the younger sibling's idea, then the younger sibling is also not going to do it. They're also only going to do it if their sibling is also doing it. So that's quite funny. Like, it's like they would really like to cause some mischief, but they're not going to do it alone, right? They they're really like two peas in a pod is what I'm hearing. They're partners in crime. They're doing everything together. And I think here with the Lovers card, that's also kind of the same message, that these two children, they go well together. Like, they go incredibly well together. They really understand each other. They might even have telepathic communication between the two of them. Since we're seeing a woman and a man here, these children could be like one is a boy, one is a girl. I know I said in the beginning I was not going to talk about gender or sex like that, but you know, I'm going to mention it since I'm seeing it here. So they could be of the opposite sex, even if they're like, whether they're twins or just, you know, siblings. So what else it comes to? Yeah, their strengths and their talents is basically that they work really well together. They, like, one is like the brains and the other one is the muscle. It kind of is the situation here. But again, they have a very good and loving relationship with each other, and it looks like the older sibling is a bit more sensitive than what you would think. Like when we were talking about the tower before, they came across as a bit of a troublemaker, but they're also very sensitive on the inside. I'm seeing this as a child that would really love to cuddle with you and to lay in your arms, for example, when you're reading them a bedtime story, and they really like that. They really like hugs and cuddles and feeling your love in that kind of way. So they could be like a mommy's or a daddy's child, basically. So they could really, so even if they are kind of a troublemaker, at the end of the day, what they just want is like to basically snuggle up with you and, you know, just cuddle, and you read them a bedtime story, which is really nice. And I feel like the younger sibling is a bit more, I'm hearing they're a bit more stubborn like that. So if they don't want to hear a bedtime story, you're not going to convince them. They're not going to read a bedtime story. So that's something that I'm picking up there as well. So let's have a look at what challenges these children might face. Whoa, oh my god. All right, it's all over the floor, so let me just grab these cards. All right, so for the first child, we have the Six of Pentacles. And let's see, what's the challenge for, this might be a challenge for both of them. I'm seeing here that the challenge for them is going to be sharing, especially if they're twins, but just also if there are siblings that are that are around the same age. They need to like share your time and attention between the two of them, right? So they need to share. They need to learn how to share. And they are going to incarnate as twins or as siblings because of that lesson, because they need to learn how to share and how to equally share between the two of them. And this is going to be, once they learn that, right? Once they learn that, that's going to be a very valuable skill to them. So let's see if there is another challenge that they would like to mention. I have the Page of Cups. Yeah, I think that this is really about sharing time and energy and attention between the two of them. I feel like both of them require a different type of attention, and they might have different love languages, but still they need the same amount of love. And this might actually be a challenge for you as well, to divide all of your love and your time and energy between the two of them, but just know that it's going to be a challenge for them as well. They also need to learn how to share, and this could also be about sharing toys between the two of them. And maybe if you, for example, only have one bathroom, they cannot shower at the same time, so they need to learn how to divide those things as well, and how to divide chores in and outside the house, and maybe even share clothes or whatever. So that's a challenge they're going to face, to share whatever it is that they have with each other. And like I said, in the end, in their grown-up life, that's also going to be a valuable skill to them. So let's now have a look at the relationship between you and these children. So we have a lot of cards, so let's just see how they are going to come out. We have be bold and make the first move. I think this is going to fit like this. Let's just see. Be bold and make the first move. Here we have balance, spirituality, and practicality with full moon in Pisces. Right, these are again these two different energies from these two different children. I'm getting more of a fiery energy here and a water energy here with Pisces, obviously. So these could be the zodiac signs of these children. So fire signs for the older sibling, and Pisces, and maybe other water signs for the youngest sibling. And I mean, this is really in line with what I was saying before. This older sibling, if there is a problem with them, they're going to tell you. They're going to talk to you about their challenges, or about what they're struggling with, or if they're hungry, or if they need to go to the toilet or whatever. They will tell you directly. And this younger sibling takes more of the back seat. And by the way, I've been saying older and younger sibling, and that's kind of how it, was presented to me. But I realized that it's more like one is taking on more of the leader role, and the other one is kind of following the other one. So it could be that these two are reversed as well, that this is not the older but the younger sibling, and then this is the older sibling. So just take it however it resonates. It does not have to be necessarily that this is the older sibling. I'm just saying that as well because I was just like, well, maybe it's not really about age or who was born first, but it's more about energy. So this sibling does definitely take the lead kind of between the two of them. And like I said, it's more like the muscle, the one who takes the action. And here the other sibling is more about thinking, about dreaming. And with balance, spirituality, and practicality, they, like I said before, it's like they are kind of the instigator. They come up with the idea and they present it to their sibling, and then their sibling is like in charge of carrying out this idea, right? So they are in really good balance as well. And I just reminded that here in Pisces, they're like twin fish, right? So that could be another confirmation that these two children are going to be twins. And yes, this child might not be that assertive at first, as in telling you their needs, and they might actually tell you in more subtle ways, that they're not telling you like, I'm hungry, I am thirsty. But for example, they're going to, I don't know, take a nap because they're hungry and they're tired, so they take a nap. Or maybe they go look for food themselves, or maybe you hear their stomach grumble. So they're not telling you directly, but they do show you signs. So this is the, like, can you call it like really the relationship? It's more like the dynamic between you. This is going to be the dynamic between you and these children, that one is bit more assertive than the other one, and there is like not a wrong or a right here, of course, right? They are both very beautiful children, beautiful energies, and they seem to balance each other out. Next up, we have Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy, move beyond current challenges, focus on what you desire. So the how do I say it, like the more assertive sibling is going to be really a go-getter, really assertive, really a go-getter. If you are really into spirituality, maybe you have crystals around your home, this child is going to be very curious about that. They're going to ask you, what are these crystals? Or what is this altar? Or what are these cards, right? They're going to ask you about that spirituality of yours and whatever you do, and they're going to be interested that from a young age on already, and because they're very curious and they want to know, and it seems very exciting to them. And with the move beyond current challenges, like this child, no matter what challenge they face, they will work hard to overcome it. They, like, failure does not exist in their dictionary. They never give up. I mean, maybe failure is not the right word, but like giving up is not in their dictionary. They don't do that. They don't give up. They keep persisting until they overcome a challenge, or until that they get what they desire and achieve what they desire. That's again very much the energy with the Tower here, like go-getter, like figuring out how this works. This child might be interested in building things, because I'm seeing someone working with wood and with a hammer, and maybe building a shed, building a bench, something like that. Building a birdhouse, also what I'm seeing. So that child could be interested in that. For the other child, we have Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. And I am again laughing because of the synchronicities here. That's just wow. Downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. And I'm going to place them like this so that each child is like has their cards together. And do you also notice like the synchronicity in color here with the purple and the pink, and here with the bluish green or green blue, whatever the color is, it matches up. These are the personalities of these two children. And here we both have like kind of spirituality in these cards. And here again, this child has more of an intuitive approach to life and to you. So I feel like you're going to intuitively feel what the needs of this child are going to be like. Whereas this child might be very interested in learning about spirituality, like what does this do and what can I do with that, whereas this child is more interested in knowledge and not necessarily in objects. So they're not asking about what are these crystals, but they might be asking like, how was the world created, or how was planet Earth created, or do aliens exist, and things like this. So they're asking about different types of spiritual knowledge. They're asking about the truth. This child is likely also very well, I don't necessarily want to say psychic, but they do have the potential to become very psychic. They're very understanding with the Pisces here. They're very understanding of spirituality and that there is more between heaven and earth. And they're going to ask you about that as well. So you're going to, in your relationship, you're going to teach them about spirituality as well, whatever that means for you, or whatever it is that you want to teach them. It could also be only specifically related to a certain type of religion, if that's something that you resonate with more. For our last card, we have the Mirror. Know thyself, self-examination, seeing who you really are, with number 21. Isn't that beautiful? That is so interesting. These children are like a mirror to you, and they are like a mirror to each other. Also with the Lovers here, they're like I think you also understand that from like the whole story that I've been telling, that they seem like they're really mirroring each other, they're complementing each other. They're like I said before, like they're the brain and they're the muscle, and they work really well together. So in some way they're a mirror of each other, and they're a mirror of you. What I'm also picking up here is that these children are like a mirror of you and your partner. So it's like one child is like a mini version of you, and the other one is a mini version of your partner, and in that way they are mirroring you. They're mirroring both you and your partner, and I'm getting like a very happy feeling that you are seeing yourself back in your children, and that makes you very happy and filled with joy, and you're like, oh, look at these children playing, and I could totally see my child self do that as well. And they're also holding up some kind of mirror to you, right? I feel like you're going to be not necessarily challenged, but you're going to be faced with you being a parent, with your parenting skills as well, and what it means to you to be a parent, and how you want to raise your children. And I think that's a very normal and usual thing for parents, right? But I do feel this is coming up here, that you're really going to hold up a mirror to yourself and be like, am I the parent to my children that they need, or the parent that I wish I had? And you're going to examine yourself in that way, and examine like your parenting skills. And you're like answering those questions, am I a good parent to my children? Obviously by looking at your children and by looking at how you're doing, how they are doing. So let's have, as the last part of this reading, a couple of more cards to get some more information about these children and your relationship with them. And let's get a little bit more than for the other pile, since we are talking about 2 children here. So what do you have for pile 4? All right, those are the ones I'm going to take for you. And I immediately noticed the soulmate one. So this could mean multiple things. It could mean that these 2 children are each other's soulmates, that you and these children are each other's soulmates, or that you are going to be having these children with these soulmates, or it could be all of the above, or a combination of those, of course. We have dreamer. So yes, one of these children is a dreamer, and you might actually recognize yourself in that child as well, like I said before, because you are also a dreamer. We have talker. Yes, one is a dreamer and one is a talker. That's like perfectly explained. We have spiritual. Well, do I even still need to explain that? They're obviously both very spiritual. We have Gemini, which are the twins. So this could be another confirmation that these 2 children are going to be twins, or their signs could be Gemini, or it could be both of them. We have successful. Both of these children are going to be successful. You're going to be successful in raising them. We have love. Let's move these a bit. We have love. So these children are a result of love. They have love for you, love for others. Like I said, they need to learn how to share with others. They need to learn how to share your love with each other, and probably other type, like love in other times of their life as well, that they need to share, or they need to learn how to also share their love between other people. We have heartbreaker. Maybe one of these children will be a little bit of a heartbreaker, but this could also be about one of them was a little bit stubborn, is what I said about this one, with the more airy energy, or watery energy, I mean, actually. They could be breaking your heart a little bit because they're so stubborn. Maybe they really remind you of your partner, and you're like, oh my god, you remind me so much of my partner, and you might not like that because they're so stubborn, and like, oh, my partner is stubborn. Now this child is also so stubborn, and it might annoy you a little bit. We have Leo. So it could be a zodiac sign of one of these children. We have deep feelings. So these children have deep feelings for you, as in a parent-child type of way. Of course, they care about you a lot. They really love you as a parent. They really appreciate you, and I feel that as time goes on, because I also see that we have the insecure card here, which actually has been coming up in 3 out of 4 piles. So you're helping them with their insecurities, the things that they might be insecure about, or the things they struggle with, right? Maybe they have certain skills that they lack, or there are certain things that they struggle with, and you're helping them in developing those things, those skills, whatever it is, further. And later on in life, as they grow up and they mature, they will realize how much you have done for them and how much love you have given them, and also how hard it must have been for you to have these 2 children who are constantly asking for your love and attention, and who are constantly getting into trouble. So they will really appreciate you because of that. They will see how much you actually did for them, and they really appreciate that, and they will appreciate that in you as well. And also in their like spiritual development, they will really appreciate that you help them in that as well. So with that last message, I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for watching pile number 4. Thank you for letting me do this reading for you. I really hope you enjoyed this reading, because I did enjoy doing this reading for you. I also hope it resonated for you. In case it did, feel free to leave a like, to comment, and to subscribe if you want to, and maybe we will see each other in the next reading. Bye guys!